Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Electric Dragon Arena. For many years, we have seen many teams, especially from animated films, come in to fight for their lives in what we call a review. And let me tell you, it is a place that only the mightiest of teams can survive.
Today is actually going to be a very special day. Today Up and Running shall be a very rare or even a very unique form of animation known as a Western anime.
Western, you say?
Yes! Normally, an anime would be considered an animated project that is made in the Eastern countries like Japan. However, when they are made in countries like the United States, they would take influence into Japanese projects and incorporate them in their own. However, most of the projects that would be in that category would only be considered anime influenced. Some of the examples that I can think of they would include the 2003 Teen Titans series, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and the follow-up series of that, The Legend of Korra.
But unlike those projects, this one purely tries to be an anime without hiding. Ladies and gentlemen, presented by the Gordon Ragini Corporation, here are today's competitors. Ruby Rose, Wai Shni, Blake Belladonna, and Yang Xiaolong of RWBY. Yes, truly a one-of-a-kind series.
Unlike the other animes that enter the arena, RWBY would be more in the category of a web series. It is known to be the brainchild of Monty of Rooster Teeth. After he was done making season 8, 9, and 10 of Rooster Teeth's award-winning Halo series Red vs. Blue, was given the opportunity to create his own original series, one that would utilize his own designs with the help of artist Ang Lee, the inspiration from classic fairy tales from around the globe, and a large theme of colors.
We fought for countless reasons, one of which being the destruction of all forms of art and self-expression. As a result, those who opposed this tyranny began naming their children after one of the core aspects of art itself: color.
And thus, this results in RWBY, one of Rooster Teeth's most highly acclaimed series that even gathered a large following, spin-offs, a manga, and even a fan-made game that Rooster Teeth made official. It's just too bad, though, that is unfortunately no longer with us to see how his series has truly blossomed.
Yes, in the beginning of 2015 due to a severe allergic reaction. But we're not here about his passing. This is about seeing the girls in action. They seem to be ready. As they launch into battle, can you give us a bit of background about these four girls?
Certainly. The show focuses on a 15-year-old girl named Ruby, who managed to get into Beacon Academy, a school made to train people to use their weapons and abilities to fight off monsters known as the Grimm, in order to become huntsmen and huntresses. Along the way, she was teamed up with her sister Yang, a rich girl named Weiss, and a mysterious woman named Blake. But while they study to harness their skills, an organized crime runs amok that could not only threaten Beacon, but the entire world of Remnant.
If anything, this is where the show truly shines. Already in the concept alone, it offers fascinating and creative ideas regarding the world of Remnant. From all the different creatures of Grimm, to the large selection of weaponry, to the many legends that are being passed on, it has built this world that's full of life and contains admirable elements that make you want to immerse in the areas that surround RWBY.
As for the story itself, it is able to get more interesting as each episode passes by, revealing a few new elements regarding the characters or the situation they're in. Also, the tone would go through a massive slide on each volume, starting off as lighthearted and a bit comical, all the way down to being fully action-packed and taking everything seriously. It knows very well how to deliver the right amount of intensity and peril in which the characters find themselves in. Speaking of the characters,
I've got to admit, they had a bit of a rocky start at first, but now I can see that they are improving to their full potential. One issue with the characters is that they did not make a good first impression, mainly because it felt like everybody wants to be the comic relief. It is alright if RWBY is given a quirky personality, but if you're also going to implement goofy and comically energetic personalities to Yang, Jean-Arc, Nora, Port, Oobleck, Sun, Crow, and more, it would just feel like it's rather questionable if it wants to take itself seriously if half the cast wants to be a Joker.
Luckily, that is only a problem that sticks around in the introductions that's mostly in Volume 1. As the series progresses, the characters would go through some complex development that reveal a lot more about who they are.
One of the best characters for this example is Jean Arc. In the beginning, he's more the insecure geek type of character trying to play cool that's given more of a humorous approach. However, after spending time with him, the funny part would immediately tone down in order to make room to look into how and why he's in Beacon, his relationship with his friends, and especially Pyronikos, and his long journey in order to become a fully confident huntsman and leader of Team Juniper. In short, he went from a goofball to an emotionally complex leader in training.
However, those who have been more serious since the beginning do not have to deal with these issues and fluently be presented as the well-written characters that enhances the show's setting, accompanied with a wonderful voice cast. From strong supporters like Ozpin and Goodwitch to menacing villains like Cinderfall and Adam Taurus.
Oh, Roman, have a little faith. You'll know what you need when you need to know it.
So far, the strong writing is keeping Team RWBY greatly afloat. It's going to be pretty tough to try to penetrate that wall. Unless... Oh, that does not look good.
And from what you see, that is precisely where the problem lays. The series' biggest downfall is the animation. Of course, it is understandable that Rooster Teeth is not necessarily a big production company, but the execution on the computer animation does reflect on how it has a rather small budget. Granted, on paper, there are some fascinating designs on the characters, the weaponry, the Grim, and the City of Vale, but it is rather unfortunate how it doesn't translate well as the story in the final product. In terms of the computer animation itself, it takes away many components like the lighting, textures, detailed effects, and most of the hair physics in order to work more on the basic elements.
As for the character animation itself, it is clear how they try to slip in some motion capture to avoid the labor of working by hand on the more casual movements. However, it wants to also provide some of the more cartoony effects that are more commonplace in Japan, resulting in a mix of styles that, well, don't mix well.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Well, what a coincidence! Last time I saw a project that utilizes motion capture and cartoony effects was actually...
It's probably best that you don't compare it to what I think you are going to say. We've already got a war going on. We don't need another one now, don't we?
Yes, you're right. The comment section is already a war zone as it is. We don't want to go and make it worse now.
On a side note, that is another flaw that comes with RWBY. How it's almost forcing itself to be an anime. Like we said before, it is obvious visually how it wants to use Japan's cartoonish effects for some of its jokes. That is because most of the humor from animes come in the visual expression of the characters for something that happened or said. It is like the punchline in a sense. However, due to the poor execution of the animation, most of these jokes fall flat, causing the series' comedy to not be one of their strongest points.
Also, this notion of trying heavily to be an anime also affects the writing as well. Story-wise, the one anime cliché that it implements is the entire school setting. This results in the series to have plenty of the clichés that come with it, including RWBY trying to make friends, a love triangle, how the characters are doing in their studies, and of course, it cannot forget having a school dance. If this series would actually be a real person, it would be considered a weeaboo.
That is true. For the most part, it fails to deliver visually, and it tries so hard to be an anime like that nerd that wants to be a part of the cool kids. But there is one thing that you cannot deny that the animation actually does really well.
No matter what the discussion is regarding the quality of the animation, there is no denying on how the action scenes are beautifully crafted. As it is a more action-oriented anime, the battle scenes mark as one of the true highlights that this show can deliver. This is where all the creativity is flourished and where the characters present both their weapons and special abilities to fight off against either a giant horde of Grimm, the White Fang, or each other in tournaments. It even makes up for its animation where the motion capture is now dropped for some great fast-paced attacks and teamwork to bring up the intensity and bring forth a highly entertaining experience.
that was the review, and from what I see, Team RWBY manages to stand well on their own. But now the real test is about to begin, and see how they performed under evaluation.
It seems like overall, RWBY may have stumbled upon a few elements, giving it some mixed results, but it is an engagingly strong series on its own. Despite the small budgeted animation, weak comedy, and a forceful need to be an anime, the strong aspects overshadow it with amazing writing, great voice acting, and action scenes that bring you a highly engaging story and believably complex characters.
Yes, it is a series that will certainly appeal to fans of anime that are more action-oriented if they can look past the cheap exterior. As of this review, the team has been through a total of 3 volumes worth of adventures, with the 4th one just around the corner.
Now with all that said, let us see into the ranking and see how it actually does. An 8 out of 10! Very good, yes, very good indeed. Not necessarily the best anime, but my god was it highly entertaining and highly enjoying to see these 4 girls in action.
And that will be all for today's review, sponsored by the Gordon Rajini Corporation. And also, that will be all for the both of us.
What can I say? Gotta try out my semblance somewhere. And where exactly do you think you're going? Class is far from over, you know. Now, the Gordon Rajani Corporation is not the only sponsor that we have received for this review. At the last minute, we have actually gotten a sponsor from Loot Anime. For those of you that don't know, it is a monthly subscription where you can get anime gear right at your door, brought to you by the people that made Loot Crate. But this time, it is only specialized in the theme of anime. Now, I actually have a box, as you can see, and I shall go and open it to show you what exactly it holds. But first... Alright, now I'm ready. Right, so let's get inside. The first thing we got... Well, these are little kids. Let's see. Oh, well, what do you know? It's actually a very nice t-shirt. And it's actually of Twin Star Exorcist. Pretty fancy. Actually, I'm gonna go wear it right now. There we go. Don't I look casual and kawaii at the same time? Now then, the next thing we have here is this long box. Apparently it's bleach. Right? Now if we see here... Oh my word! It's a watch! Look at it, it's a legitimate watch! Alright. Oh wow. And it's high quality as well. That's the thing with Loot Anime. They don't back away to give you high quality products at such a reasonable price as well. Actually, I'm gonna go and wear this at the same time. Right, all good. Now then, the next item that we have... yes. This is actually a proud tradition in Loot Anime. Every month you will receive a box, and every time in this box, you will always get a manga. In this example here, we actually got One Punch Man. No, this is not One Punch Man right here. I thought this was like a Godzilla manga, but nope. This is actually One Punch Man. Ooh, hello. Huh, this is not One Punch Man either, but it does come with a cute mosquito girl, apparently. Alright, next up what we have here. Of course. What the? So apparently this is Tokyo Ghoul. And, oh, I see what it is. This could either be a giant keychain, or you can make little stands with it. Oh. Well, it actually comes with some of the little accessories in the back, but rather interesting, I must say. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, Oh, but on top of that, you also get, speaking of keychains, you also get a little keychain right here. And also on top of that, you get, oh yes, this is another tradition along with the manga. You also get every month. Oh god, oh dear. I shouldn't have done that. I ripped it a little. Anyways, you also receive a poster and also a little bit of a description of all the items that you will get in the box. Now, that is actually very fascinating, isn't it? Even I'm very impressed with the stuff that I've received, especially with the t-shirt and the watch and all that kind of stuff. But it's not only things that you will get physically that you will earn, but you also receive digital rewards as well. If you go and order Loot Anime, you will also receive a free month subscription of Crunchyroll, which actually gives you the perfect excuse that after all this, you can go and order your Loot Anime thing, and also you can go and check out RWBY. Isn't that actually fascinating? Now, on top of that, you will not only receive all this, and you will also receive Crunchyroll at the same time, but there is another thing as well, and this is actually my special gift to you. If you go and order Loot Anime right now, you can actually go and use the promo code EDP, and you'll get 10% off of your next purchase. Now, at the same time, you can go and economize and receive all these amazing things at once. Isn't that lovely? And if you actually are ordering now, I would like to give you a little bit of a mention about this month's theme, which is delicious. And I do not mean that because all the stuff that you will receive is actually sweet, delicious food. I mean that the theme will be delicious. And it will feature animes including Naruto Shippuden, Food Wars, Shikokugai no Soma, Himouto Umaru-chan, Gudetama, and Sweetness and Lightning. Do you understand all this now, children? Good. Now, class dismissed.